Hello internet, and today we're back with some more Epic 7. And yeah, we're gonna get more active with the Epic 7 Origin update for sure. But yeah, speaking of the Origin update, this will be the first character, I think. I think it's an ML, I could be wrong, but yeah, it's like one of the newest characters for Origin. And it is Boss ARUNKA. Who would have thought that character was ARUNKA? If you're wondering, the character we're talking about is this one. That was the art. Did not know that was ARUNKA, me personally, but apparently it is. So we're gonna take a look at what she does. But before that, your boy gotta pay the bills. So here's a word from today's sponsor. But before that, we got some exciting announcement for the new strategy game, DC Dark Legion. This is an official DC game featuring tons of authentic DC characters. The game has hit #1 on Google Play free app chart across all categories and the App Store free game chart within just 3 days of launch. So it is a really well received game. In DC Dark Legion, they have a lot of characters like Batman, voiced by the original voice actor from Arkham's Origin, Roger Craig Smith. Obviously, we have tons of other familiar characters as well, and even super villains in the game. Build your own ultimate DC squad and pair them up with each having their own skill and unique ultimates. They all do different things, so the strategy behind building your team and engaging in combat gets quite interesting. Once you're ready, face off against even real players in their PvP mode. Let's see who's the best in the DC universe, dude. Use my gift code DCDL999 to obtain a bunch of currencies and 3 free character pulls as well. Download the game with my link in the description to get a free champion with even more rewards. It helps you a lot if you do that as well, so I appreciate that, guys. Alright, now that that's out the way, let's check out what this character is all about.
Who hurt my family?
Boss ARUNKA. Looking like my gosh dang like big sister, right? Here's the animation. I think we saw this before already. Ooh, alright. And yo, let's check this out. Yo, what art is that? That's beautiful, first of all. Secondly, this is an ML character. Okay, Boss ARUNKA. I guess I should have known. Boss ARUNKA. Usually you have like a title at the front. So this one's Boss. Looking like hella bossy. I wish you would boss me around and step on me. But, let's stop being weird. Light Knight. I hate that already. Light Knight is a bad combination. And it usually just turns the meta around. I think right now the meta is still more aggressive than not. So this might be the catalyst to slowing everything down. I'm not looking forward to that. If it's like just terribly slow, right? But we'll see first. Maybe she's like a different sort of knight. Maybe she's just one-shotting you somehow.
With her majestic riding and fierce leadership,
her animation literally runs you over. Who's the character? Oh, that's not a character. That's the enemy, right? So in her animation, she literally runs the enemy over. So if the enemy's like a kid, let's say Shu, you're just running a child over, like a responsible adult, right? So that's what Boss ARUNKA does. She does not care. But yep, obviously, she is a pairing with ML Payra in the story.
Noticeably worried about Payra ever since her departure. But now that she got word that the Sura
okay, we got freaking Ken right here.
ARUNKA is revved up for a vicious showdown to protect Payra.
Here we go. So all the lore stuff interesting, right? You got the bike gang, and here at the hero introduction. Here we go. It's the meat and the juices. Defense stupidly high, health very high, speed very low, and she has a passive, right? Self-defense imprint though. She might be a defense scaler. That means there's a good chance this might be like a Karina type character, right? Some FRS in there. Not that big a deal though.
Defense and effect resistance, and can increase her defense further.
Okay. All right, here we go. Here are the skills. What do you do? Boom. Passive. Vanguard the Silent expands. At the start of the battle, at the end of the turn, when the caster is in the front row, grants ferocious stance. So you have to put her at the front, eh? That means you cannot use her with Young Senya, for instance. After being attacked, increases CR by 20. I don't want to deal with that shit, man. Okay, this reminds me of ML Ilinov, right? You touch the whole team, she gets 40% CR push. Except in this case, it's 20 if you hit her. Ferocious Stand, what does that mean? Allies except for the bearer cannot be selected as target for attacks. I'm gonna quit the game. Alright, so we have to kill her first, is what you're saying. Let me think of what broken thing you can do with this. What's the most broken stuff you can like pull off with this? It depends on what her skill 3 is, obviously, and maybe counter set skill 1 would be terrible if the skill 1's insane. But I can already tell for cleavers, this slows down cleaves, right? This is one more thing that cleavers have to worry about. Because I can imagine you put this at the front, gets ferocious stand at the start of the battle, so she gets it regardless. You get it right away, and you can add your racer somewhere else. Okay, let's say you're Ron. You're gonna third lock ARUNKA. You're gonna pick a Ron somewhere or pick a Zio somewhere. I mean, if they're cleaving, they're usually ban Zio, but now they can't even stop your opener. They have to ban the opener. And even if they ban the opener, if you have an ML haste picked, that means they have to kill boss ARUNKA, proccing ML haste. Terrible, right? Terrible experience if you are a cleaver, I would say. However, though, not impossible to beat, I think. Because, yeah, you can target her first, but if you have an AOE damage dealer, then I think you're still decently okay. But it gets, you know, it gets tough, though. I think Firefly's going to do this still somewhat well. Because, you know, Firefly, you can S1 AOE, doesn't matter. Or S3, get Death Break on this game, on ARUNKA. Get your cleave off anyway. But it certainly adds a lot more worries for fast players, I think.
Silent expanse. At the start of battle and at the end of the turn,
it's 25% CR at most, yeah?
Grants ferocious stand for 1 turn. After being attacked, increases.
So in this case, they're showing us an example of them being aggressive, obviously. You got Janua, you got Firefly, so they're aggressively trying to just one-tap you. Can't do that because ARUNKA's there.
By up to 25%. Ferocious stand is an effect.
And yeah, everyone's just hitting her, even this tank.
Cannot be selected as a target for attacks.
Oh my god, that's like AoE stealth, right? That's like pretty much AoE stealth, undispellable stealth, unless you kill the front row.
Skill 3.
Holy shit. Alright, this is the skill 3. This will be huge, because the amount of turns you can get is insane, right? So if the skill 3 is broken, it's just over for us. Attacks the enemy at the incredible velocity, dispelling all buffs, inflicting decreased defense. Hell nah! Grants increased defense on the barrier for the caster for 2 turns. Damage dealt barrier strength increases to the defense. She's a defense scaler, number 1. Dispel all buff and decrease defense? Okay, wait. It's not AoE though, right? Okay, at least it's not AoE. If it's AoE, I'm done. But yeah, it's not AoE. Still, this is so annoying, right? You just get a decreased defense, and you have to hit this character. I don't know. I hate this already. It's strong. It's stupidly strong, I think.
Velocity, dispelling all buffs before inflicting decreased.
Alright, let's just see how thick her, like, you know, barrier and stuff is, though. So, boom, you're hitting the Ilanov on the opposing end. We're gonna land the debuff, right? There we go. Damage-wise, not that much. You're not supposed to build over damage. This is a 21k ARUNKA, bottom left, right? 21k health ARUNKA, I assume with no speed, with probably 2.5k defense, right? It's annoying. And then, yeah, you get a decent amount of shield, I suppose.
The caster's
okay. And I think this one is built with FRES. But yeah, let's just check out skill 1. If skill 1's great, then you put counter set on. Attacks the enemy with road sign, 60% chance to inflict decreased defense for 1 turn. Damage dealt increases proportional to the caster's defense. Soulburn gets a dual attack. Damn! Okay, Soulburn gets you a dual attack. With the highest attack as well. So, I wouldn't even lie, you might see people cleave with this character. Yeah. Single target cleave, where you like kill 1, kill 2, and then you have to survive for a little bit, but then the enemy can't hurt your DPS. They have to kill ARUNKA first. So this might be a potential candidate in a cleave team. I don't know, but anti-cleave certainly, right?
Enemy with a road sign and has up to a 75% chance to the caster.
Okay, so this one should be pretty easy. You just Soulburn, get a death break, dual attack with
triggers a dual attack
with ML Sherry of all things. Okay, that's a weird ass team. I won't lie. Alright, so that was boss ARUNKA. When can we meet her? April 24th. About 2 weeks left. Okay. Combat demo. Let's check out the combat demo. I mean, we already seen this before. This one in the demo, though, is using Bastion of Perlucia on ARUNKA. So you get the shield, you get the immunity, right? Fair enough. I can see that being annoying. This is like a Tywin, but different. Like, completely different a Tywin. But I feel like Bastion of Perlucia is going to be a solid candidate, though. Like, just give your backline something. A thick-ass shield and a freaking immunity. Of course, herself as well. I don't know if you want immunity. That's what I don't know. But let's just check out the game. We already know what's happening here, so I'm going to skip ahead slowly. Politics goes. We got DN. DN goes with the buffs. Now everything's buffed up. The enemy, Janua here, can only hit the freaking ARUNKA, right? ARUNKA gets a massive push. Firefly, because we have Bastion Pollution, cannot put debuff on us. And they have no strippers, so... We did take decent amount of damage there, though. Like, from Firefly. But that's like... Dude, that's all of their firepower combined. And we're not really phased. Yeah? So, if you have a healer at the side, you just keep on healing her. They cannot touch you unless they AoE. But then if they do AoE, their C-side below here, they just counters you. Right? So, annoying. Here comes ARUNKA. Dispel everything on Ilanov. Get the death break on. Ilanov goes, dispels it. Okay. Very stupid that you use S3 there. What? Okay. I'll just skip ahead because it's kind of just the same thing. All right, this freaking ML Shuri went. Why did they just all die? Because Shuri's goated. All right, because Shuri's goated, I see. All right, here's ARUNKA again. You Sober this time, get another death break, right? Into a dual attack. Oh, it got resisted though. All right, whatever. And then you just S3. The game's over because they have to hit ARUNKA. Yep. I'm sure it's obvious, like, how it works, right? It's a perma provoke on the enemy end. I suppose you can see it that way. How do people think about this? Is this not insanely annoying? Let's just check what the people think. She's really cute and tough. Fair enough. Love Epic 7. I love it too till I have to play RT and I lose to 15%. By vibration jiggle. Fire. I like the top 3 comments. Completely just falling in love with how she looks, okay? Alright, anyone else though? Boss ARUNKA doing Akira slide. Friendship Edward Dragon Bride. Boss ARUNKA, your new best friend. Actually, yeah, now that I think about it, can't you just use both of them, you know what I'm saying? You just use both of them, no? Looks so good, boss, with that kid. Might as well name her Boss Karina. That is not nearly as similar as what Karina does, though, no? Am I insane? I think that's pretty different. Actually, not a bad ML5, not too bad, or OP. Really? You guys don't think she's OP? I think she's kind of OP, though. Basically grants everyone stealth until she's dead or you put unbuffable. Of course, you can always bring AOE. Fair enough. This RTA gonna be cancer. I think she's gonna be cancer. I don't know about broken, like you have to nerf her, but I think she's gonna be a staple in a lot of teams, or at least it's gonna exist, right? If you're trying to like play aggressively with single target damage dealers, you're gonna see people picking this character plus all the freaking healers or all the freaking buffers, anti-critters. So you have to hit her, and you've already picked your single target DPS. If you pick another AOE DPS, you might be screwing yourself up because now you don't have enough support, right? Counter Rocket Punch, space speed, probably a little bit of ER. Counter Rocket Punch, that's interesting, yeah. That is pretty interesting. But then can you lift enough of the damage output we have though, right? You gotta lift Fire Flan Janua. Maybe you just go full bulk, who knows? Only ARUNKA can be selected as a target, works on Arya S3, like everyone's hidden and only Arya can be hit. What does that mean? I said there's undispellable. Yeah, true. There's undispellable. And you can put unbuffable on her so that the next turn she can't put this buff back on her. That's one of the ways to deal with her, I suppose. But for the first turn, that's going to be the most impactful. If the enemy's trying to cleave you, they put unbuffable on you. But still, for the first turn where the cleavers want to kill you, they can't. They have to kill ARUNKA first. So there's an ML haste. Oh, that's going to be terrible. Everyone becomes Spectre turning when she's on the field. Why does ARUNKA not lose Ferocious Stand after a turn? Because she gains it after a turn. Counter Rocket Punch. I don't know if it's Counter Rocket Punch though. You guys think? I feel like, yeah, Counter Rocket Punch could be an idea for sure. Even against Cleave, yeah. I can imagine Counter S1 Death Break on a freaking Ludwig. Boom, instantly pop. That could be very annoying, but here's the problem. Rocket Punch, Smilegate. We don't have that many Rocket Punch, Smilegate. I'm sure we cannot just have Ace but collab for fun because they're actually big now, but what do? We don't have Rocket Punch, yo. How is this even ARUNKA? I can see it being somewhat similar. But yeah, I did not thought that was ARUNKA at this right. Too broken, okay. Another annoying character. You want to be your son? Dang. Okay. Fuck me. Alright. Pretty polarizing. I saw people think she's okay, not too broken. I think she's pretty good. I don't know about overpowered, but I think she's very, very, very good. But okay, so that's ARUNKA. Quick TLDR. I think definitely worth pulling for standard players. For cleavers, I don't think you want to pull this character if you just want to focus on cleaving. I think for cleavers, even some of you can still pull this character. If she turns out to be an annoying anti-cleave character, you can just use her instead, get a death break in, force the enemy, force whoever's alive to hit this character instead, and your DPS can still live. Your single target DPS can still live. So instead of cleaving maybe aggressive teams, using this character as just to protect your freaking Fire Flan, for example, right? You know, I could imagine Eligos not being able to hit Fire Flan because you have this on your field. So aggressively, I think she can still be somewhat used. I think mostly it's going to be used in a standard draft though. Hides everyone, right? And I think, you know, hiding Fire Flan is going to be annoying. Hiding Janua is going to be annoying. A lot of ways you can use her, I think. Definitely going to be around in RTA is what I'm thinking. Alright, so that's all for the character, right? Should you pull? Yeah, I think a pretty good character. A 7, 8 out of 10 character. I feel like you won't regret pulling this character. If you miss her, can you not play the game? I don't think so. At least right now. She might be just more broken than I thought though. But for now, let's check out Epic 7 update. What do we have?
This storm with me.
So we have Victorica, right? Is that her name?
Legends of this
Yep, it's
story have
Victorica.
already
So this one, players will be able to acquire Victorica from the 6th world episode. So it's a free character, and you can get her via coming to as well tomorrow. Alright? Is it a banner though? It's a 4-star. I don't think it's a banner. I don't think you can get her through a banner. But she's free, at least from what I read. Acquire Victorica from the 6th world episode, A Resolve Inherited, right? I assume it's free then.
I may be no
Here
hero,
is Crow. I
but
am
can
pretty
still
sure
be
this
your
one's a
worst
banner.
nightmare.
A 5-star,
I hate
right? Fire Knight. Okay, I'm pretty sure it's a banner. Tomorrow as well. New episode of Resolve Inherited. Alright, that's just the story. UI renewed. We already saw that. Ogre's Army. We already saw that. We have this side story, right? I think, or event. We have Arena Begin. This is RTA or Arena. Normal Arena. I think it's a normal Arena. Okay. We see these two characters as the poster girls, though. I have no clue what that means. And also weirdly, you see an injury set right here. Why is it just in? Oh, that probably means we can buy injury set gears, huh? Okay. Balance adjustments. Is it the same? I think so. We're gonna check out Stove later, but I don't see any difference here. Okay. Let's keep going. Ooh, wait a minute. Wait, did we already know about this? Spirit Celine, new EE. Did we already know about this? I think we do, huh? I could be wrong, but let's check Stove later. Drop rate up for guard Captain Crow. Vildred as well, okay. And limited drop rate out for DN. I actually think for free to play, you want to get an RTA, get DN. And then of course boss ARUNKA. Mystic Rotation. Oxlot's boss ARUNKA. But it comes in 2 weeks. Alright, got you. Nothing too crazy. It's just new characters, right? That's it. I love Epic 7. Is this a meme? Why does every top comment is just I love Epic 7? I knew it spelled Celine E. Let's go. Oh, we don't know about that, right? I thought she got buff. I guess she also got buff and also got an EE. Is that true? Def really hate Luna? Why does Def hate Luna? The end rerun again? I actually don't know how often she got a rerun. Next RTA skin MOU Fiend. Well, who knows? But okay. That is for the minute update. Any other things that you guys posted though? Not much. Okay, so what about Stove? Anything on Stove we gotta take a look at. I want to see the EE. I'm not sure if they posted the EE though. Have they please at least put everything? Like, have they at least uploaded everything at the same time? I don't think they did, right? Why the flip? I feel like there's probably someone who knows why and then tells me in the comments, or they might not. But, yo, just know that I don't read comments that much anymore. At least not now. I'm busy as shit. But yeah, I don't know. I would much prefer everything to be posted at the same time, unless there's like a valid explanation that maybe you already told me 10 times that I didn't read. But I doubt it though. Why don't just post everything at the same time, right? Okay. Nothing here. What can I do? What can I do, bro? When do we get the EE? New exclusive equipment. It doesn't tell me the date. Fire. How about Reddit? Reddit E7. Anything we know about Celine? Boss ARUNKA preview. A Paravi. Is that it? Can I sort it by new? Let's see. Anyone think her head is too big for her body? No. think it's alright. Preview here. Minute update there. I'm gonna check if anyone's talking about an EE in the minute update. And that's it, right? Yeah, that's it. Minute update. Anyone talk about the EE? EE for Celine, it's the D spell for enhanced S1 brought back, isn't it? That's what I'm betting. On one hand, pretty stupid to remove it, put it back. Oh. Yeah, another method. On the other, free stats. I mean, no one knows it yet. Yeah? They usually post it on Stove. I would assume that I'm gonna give you like maybe 20 more seconds. If I can't find it, it is what it is. Alright, I can't find it, so let's talk about the freaking content, right? What do you think about the content? Honestly, not that crazy. From what we saw from the Origin update, a lot more to come. But for now, we only get the normal new characters, right? It's whatever. It's not that crazy. But hey, good character, good looking character, and good character, right? I don't know about it being stupid broken, but I know it's going to be annoying. This is guaranteed an annoying character, yeah? I don't know if it's going to be easily dealt with, though. Let's think about ways we can deal with boss ARUNKA, right? I'm thinking ignore defense certainly destroys ARUNKA, so something like ML haste on your end nukes ARUNKA. Yeah, we are going to target you for sure. We're just going to ignore your defense, kill you. You only have 20k health. Who else? Janua, actually. If you don't have a DN at your side that, you know, stops you from death pen, or if you don't have enough at your side that stops you with death pen resistance, Jonua probably just one-shots ARUNKA. But if you have both in a team, oh my god. Imagine ARUNKA plus Ilanov. What do you do? Ilanov does not die now, does she? I guess the only other way is control. You can control by putting Death Break on. If you have Death Break on ARUNKA, she's a lot less dangerous. If you have a Buffalo on ARUNKA, she's not a unit. So there's definitely ways to deal with her. But then she's so annoying, right? If you don't have means to deal with her, or if it gets bad, you're screwed. This thing forces you to adapt, in my opinion, which makes her a very solid character. A lot of characters are like that, right? Let's say freaking Helen Lua. You don't see Helen Lua being picked every game, but the moment she's picked, you gotta adapt. Can you outspeed her? Can you control her? Can you take the provoke and have a Mort on your team and then still not get countered? Can you take the counter and kill her anyway? Stuff like that, right? So yeah, solid character. Final refresh on Stove. If there's nothing, then that will be all for today's video. Let me know what you think about the content, right? And the characters as well. I think a solid character. Definitely. We'll see if she's broken and all that. Hoping for more crazy update for sure. Hoping for more like cool characters. We saw like the 3 new poster character. I think what was their name? Vicar. Okay, I forgot their names, but you know, the 3 new characters on the Epic Zone logo. I think those are gonna be pretty fire. Also, Genesis Ross. That one's fire. I want to see Genesis Ross. We'll see the story as well. Maybe the story's fire. Maybe they are, you know, putting more effort in the story, because they did mention we're basically going back to the previous worlds, right, to just see what happened there. Looking forward to that, to just know more about the history of Epic 7. But with that said, more content to come with the Origin update. Stay tuned, and that'll be all. Take care.